that pistol from, that G2 should have a real good time with this. And NiP, they're moving really quickly. A little bit of a kill squad coming out, and Body is going to get trucked down at the brown holes, taken out immediately.
Yeah, over on that B side, he likes to do that, and that's exactly what NiP were aiming to do as well. Just get over to brown holes, towards that B side, make some noise. The fact that they get a kill on Body, it's like icing on the cake. It's just like, oh, great, here's a nice little bonus. Perfect, because we really just wanted to sell misinformation. We wanted to make it sound like we were rushing towards B, and so G2 would start to shift their defense over towards the B site. The real action, though, is going to happen on this A site in just a few moments here as we tick past that minute 10 mark.
Yeah, and nobody from NiP have any smoke grenades, which you're going to see later in this half. It's going to be a very crucial key component of attacking that A bomb site. This is just going to be a raw attack. They have Kevlar vests, and they have Glocks, and a single stolen USP there from Get Right. He picked that up from Body, so that's almost a little bit of an insult. Right now, Scream, Smiths, and RPK are out in this bomb site, and they're going to have such a hard time. If anyone goes down, this defense is going to crumble immediately. They all need to stay alive, otherwise this little triangle won't work out.
Yeah, Exist is getting ready to jump across. This is almost a patented play here from NiP. They love to go for the 3 through alley, and then Pyth just running up, spots the man, assassinates Scream, shuts him down, and he's going to be looking for the second one. Pyth is unleashed, 3 kills. No, Exist gets the last one, but still, the damage is done, and it's all on Shoxy. 1v3 now to keep it alive here for G2, but Pyth, ruthless, just hunts him down, and it's the pistol round picked up for NiP in the end. 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and there's a crucial essential problem here when you're holding the bomb site like this. The one person who's covering this angle, that's fine. Second person covering towards Pop Dog, and the last person covering towards Ivy. All of this works out. These are 3 good angles that the CT side can cover, but if anyone dies, then someone else has to take over his position, and now you're covering two spots instead of 1. That doesn't work out. So that's the problem with only having 3 members in that A bomb site.
It just weakens the defense, and that's the whole point, right? And that's why even in even-man situations when we're saying, oh, it's a 3v3, it's a 4v4, it's always going to favor the terrorists because the CTs have to cover more ground with fewer bodies. And so there's always going to be that crossfire potential that NiP could be looking to take advantage of here. And so we'll see if they can keep up that level of play. NiP, a little greedy, I got to say. They're going for 4 SMGs. They're looking to make that money this round. They're looking to make additional money. So we'll see if it's going to work out for them, because G2 have invested in Kevlar, which is the usual counter to the SMGs.
It's a little bit of a shame that there's no armor on Smith there. He does have a deagle. Shock's buying up a scout, which is a sniper rifle. It's less effective than the AWP, but for one thing, and as you can tell, you can jump and shoot with it, which is what he's trying to exploit a little bit back there, and it's such a powerful idea. Here comes the smoke that we were just pointing out they didn't have in them in the pistol round. Now that they do have him, it's going to get real tough. And I think Scream, behind this electric box, he's going to be the first to encounter anyone, and he will have a real hard time stopping them.
Yeah, he's in the prime spot. He's going to be the one looking to do the damage. He's got that 5-7. It can deal so much damage up close like this, and he's just playing the angle, but Exist will hunt him down in the end. RPK in the spot that Scream occupied during the pistol in the last round. He's not going to get anything out of it. Smith gets caught out in the open. RPK now charging forward towards A-Main, looking for the duel with Forrest, and Forrest just comes through. Finally, somebody manages to do some damage here for G2. Shoxy will get a kill with that scout, but it's still Shox and Body in a 2v4 situation. The bomb has been planted, and now, while the tables have turned, they are the ones who are worrying about all the angles that NiP could be, basically hiding behind here.
Look at Shox looking at that submachine gun there. Wants to maybe have Body pick it up. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe a little bit of hesitation there. It's nice to see that NiP, they pull off that whole execute and get the bomb down while the smokes are still up. So they're actually planting inside the smoke. That gives them cover and helps them out quite a bit there. Forrest's going to be going down. That was a cool shot coming out of Body, but he's being hunted right now. They don't want to have them saving any rifles here, and they are going to be successful. Every single member of G2 going down.
And we're going to get a replay real quick of Pyth in this pistol. The big damage, instant reaction to take out Scream. And these are the 2 kills, basically. This makes it possible for that defense to fall apart and for NiP to just go charging onto the bomb site. And it's one of the most difficult jobs to do in CS, is to be the first man onto the site. Because of that, that reaction to pull back and get Scream. Normally, the CT side is going to take advantage of that and get the kill on Pyth. That time, though, Pyth actually made it work. And he's a big reason why NiP were able to pick up the first round on this map.
And also the newcomer to the team, the latest addition. The other 4 members of this team have been together from the beginning of Global Offensive. This is, between the 4 of them, the longest standing lineup that we have in the game. That's also why it was so rough on Pyth when he came in. A lot of criticism, and that happens to everyone who tries to take that 5th position in NiP. But it feels like right now they found something that really works with him. So that's also intriguing. Again, G2, and this is par for the course when you lose the pistol round, they don't have any money to buy. We're talking just pistols, no armor, no grenades being picked up here. So don't be surprised if they're going to get run over once again.
Yeah, it's a very tough job now with the USPs, not investing anything. And this is also what they're worried about. They do not want to be giving up kills to the SMGs. And so you get $600 per kill with the SMG versus the $300 you would get with a rifle or a pistol. And so when you get an SMG, you're just looking to make that little bit more money to work with. So at this point, G2, they just want to avoid dying to exist. They don't want to get caught by Get Right. And well, they have a little bit of a trap here set up, and we'll see if Pyth walks into it.
Oh, Get Right. There's the SMG kill coming through. And look at how well they're playing the corners there. No one overextends. No one takes any fights they don't need to. And that's Exist getting 3 kills with the MP7, which is going to give him a bit more than 8,000 starting here in the 4th round. But now G2 have a real shot. And again, this is their map pick. I want to see something big come out of them here. They have that big sniper rifle, the AWP on Smiths. And since he doesn't have any kills and neither Scream, now would be a good time to step it up.
Yeah, they need to start waking up. We've had a few James Bonds, which is 007, right? Score lines so far throughout the group phase. We don't want to see that now. We want these guys to start waking up. They need to take the fight to NiP. They are perfectly capable of doing so. Otherwise, NiP, they're going to get that clean 2-0 win, which wouldn't be bad for the NiP fans out there. But they still got to get up to 16 rounds here.
You got to think the NiP fans might have been a little bit worried walking into this match. And look at NiP just strolling down into the bomb site. Here comes the flood of terrorists, and it's going to be Shox taking the first kill. He goes down, Body trying to refrag it, but they're trading evenly, and that's great for NiP. They get a bomb plant here. Oh, Scream! How did he hit that headshot? Smith's coming into it as well, and now Forrest is suddenly all on his own in a 1-on-3. It turns in just 1 second, and he has to try and defend this bomb, and they're not going to make it work. Forrest goes down, and the defuse is going to happen for D2. First round coming in for them.
Yeah, Forrest, you can see the frustration there evident. I mean, he knows that they had that round on lock, and Freiburg, he had a strong first map, but he was the linchpin here in this one round. That was a given, a free kill for him to pick off Scream and to really keep G2 boxed in away from the site. The fact that he loses that fight versus Scream opens it all up for G2 to go for the retake. And so Freiburg needs to step up, needs to be a bit more consistent in those kinds of 1v1 situations. And look, Scream, kill assist, RPK, got a kill now, looking better for G2.
Definitely stepping it up early on here. Again, with the bomb down in the 3-on-3, you'd think NiP had an advantage going into the later stages of that half or that round, but just a little bit of a mistake there, and that cost them the round. We'll see if they can continue. Now they've picked up in turn the AWP on Forest. See if they could maybe find a bit of a battle. It's always fun watching sniper versus sniper if they run into each other. Shox, is he going to try up the ladder here? He's right by it, and they keep going back to this setup with Shox and Body in B, and everyone else from G2 over at the A bomb site. But look at how defensive they're being on A. They're not even on the bomb site. They're actually holding extremely far back.
Yeah, this isn't very common, actually, because in general, you want to at least have like one guy up on the site itself. I think Scream is the difference maker. In case that smoke strategy comes in from NiP, where they cut the bomb site in half, where RPK and Smiths are going to be blind and useless, Scream, he's up top a ladder, basically, above connector, where he's going to be able to look over those smokes. Not even. He's actually not even a sniper. He's boosted up in connector. Still viable, but not as effective.
I mean, look at how he's in a position to stop the bomb from being put down here. They're going to probably jump into the smoke to try and plant the bomb. And Scream, he's going to be able to look over all of it. There's Get Right coming in for it. And Scream, a position tailor-made to stop that play from happening. And it works out great, but they picked up the bomb. And this time it will be going down. Pyth in charge of just arming it. And now it's ticking against G2. Smiths on scoping just as a jump comes through. It is going to be a 4-on-4 retake here.
That's the beauty of CSGO. Sometimes you'll have that angle, but you unscope right as the guy goes running past, and you're just kicking yourself. And now we have to see if the retake's going to happen. But 2 kills for NiP. Body does manage to chime in and take out Exist, and Body just doing more work here. A second kill for him. That Molotov going to force him out into the open, however. But Smith goes duck hunting, picks off Freiburg midair. And it's a 1v1 between both oppers, but there's just no time here for Smith to be playing games. And he's going to back off and give up the site. Not going to happen for G2, and this is a worst case scenario for them as well. They just got their economy reset.
Wow, so this is the big problem. Again, he had the defuse kit, and that means it takes 5 seconds to defuse, but I mean, if he had just held it down and spent all 5 seconds, he would have been able to get it, but Forrest would have obviously taken him out. So Just no time, no cover either, and that's the big problem with the A-bomb side. If you're in a 1v1 like that, there are so many angles to check on the CT side, you almost can't do it. That's 4-1, and you are exactly right. All they have is the saved sniper rifle, and everything else on the G2 team here is pistol and no armor.
Yeah, and why I'm saying it's reset is because the more rounds you lose consecutively, rather, as I stumble over my words, you get more money each time. But as soon as you win a round, that loss bonus gets reset back down to a starting $1,400. You can't buy a whole lot with $1,400 in this game, and so...
Yeah, it's essentially the game's way of helping you get back in so that you don't go on sort of unending loss streaks, right? You essentially get helped back into it with the money.
Exactly.
So that's definitely important to keep an eye on as well. Looks like it's going to be rushed into the B-bomb site. We do have a big stack of members here from G2. Unfortunately, they don't have any weapons to defend with, just pistols here. And that doesn't always work out so well. And Smith, he's got one angle and he's got one kill, but NiP, they are set up quite nicely, and the bomb is down. Yeah,
and Freiburg's in position to get the drop on Smith, and he tried to go for the peek right there. He heard the shot from Smith. He's going to step out, and now the pressure is on. And Smith is all about just getting out of there, but he's not going to make it. Freiburg assassinates him, and it's 2 kills for Freiburg, just hunting for Scream, who has the deagle. And with the aim that Scream has, you don't really want to be challenging him when he has that one-shot, headshot kind of pistol in his hands. So we'll see. I don't know. They know where he's playing from right now, and there's really no reason for them to go hunting. NiP now, this is all about saving the guns that they have. They don't need to be spending any more extra money in the next round, so don't even bother. The one thing that they're thinking about, perhaps, is that Scream could go over and pick up that AWP from Smith.
Yeah, but they pulled it back. They actually picked it up and threw it back while all of that was happening, so they saw that coming. They made sure that that was not going to be an option for Scream, so heads-up play for NiP. Gotta love that.
How sweet it is.
Oh, it can't be giggling like that. Yeah.
Wow, 10 out of 16 events, Fnatic and NiP. I mean, it's basically, okay, right.
Is that even a surprise?
They're going with this. I see where they're going with this. Fnatic has won 8 250K events. Fnatic, basically, NiP for a long time were seen as the best team to ever touch CSGO. And then their Swedish counterparts, their competition came through and became like the most dominant team after them. And so it really has been a game that's been dominated quite a bit by the Swedish teams.
And I mean, as a Dane living right across the water, it's a little bit painful because they are so damn good at Counter-Strike. Maybe one day we could contest it, but it hasn't been just yet. Get right, going to be sneaking out a tiny bit here in G2. They saved the last round, they bought into this round, but it's still not all that great. And look at this boost, looking over a part of the map that you normally cannot look into here. But because they're being a bit creative, they're just looking for an opening. G2 really do not have a lot of grenades, and that's a big problem again. And they had the same problem on Cash.
Yeah, you see the rotation coming out from Shoxy now towards that B site. If Body spotted the angle that Garrett was shooting from, he has to know that there's only that there are 2 players up there, and so that's going to just bait Shoxy over towards this B site, which is exactly what NiP want. They're primed to go onto the A site now, and Smith, he's going to be in a bit of a tight spot. He's holding a pop dog at the ladder, but there's soon going to be a bunch of NiP players rushing him, and he's only got the pistol in his hands. It's a bit of a dangerous spot, but there's the pop flash, and Smith, they turn away. Perfect reactions there from NiP.
Yeah, that grenade is not airborne for a long time, but at a professional level, it's plenty of time for them to turn around. They're very, very fast with the reactions like that. And there's a good kill coming through. Freiburg taking out one Scream. They know he's in that corner, but Shox is there to help out, covering that diagonal line, and Body going to be going down. Get right, looking for more, actually charging into the C connector and into the B bomb site. There's nobody there. Shox is going to come in from behind and try and see if he can stop the bomb plant, but Get right, he's going to plant it smart. 1 versus 3, and Shox, painful as it is, he should really try and save this rifle. He doesn't have armor, and it should be easy for NiP to win this round.
So fast. They don't have any nades, though, NiP. Shoxy, at least he has the incendiary, but he's going to spot the man, and Pyth overextends. Bit of a big mistake there. There's no kit on Shoxy, and so he really has to stick it. He needed to get that 3rd shot, but Forrest decides to face him in the end. Will challenge and win the duel. But talk about close. Shoxy coming so close to clutching it there for his team, 1v3. 6-1 scoreline, though, for NiP on the T side of Train. They are not on the favored side. And so this is a fantastic scoreline for them so far in this first half.
There's even an NiP flag in the crowd. I mean, we're far removed from Sweden right now. We're in Atlanta. Right now, it's Exist top fragging with 9-1-3, and it's not every day that we see that. He's more sort of an all-round player for the team. He's definitely a solid player. But, you know, we always expect Get Right and Forrest to be the 2 sort of main engines. So it's a bit interesting. On the other team, RPK dropping off just a little bit here with 1-0-6. And they need more, but once again, they do not have the money.
I'm not a super big fan of this setup here between Body and Shoxy, because Body is not up there with Shoxy. to back him up. So if Shoxy dies, there's no chance for a refrag. And look at this, Exist spots out Shoxy, easiest shot of his life. And you know, then where's Body? Nobody there to get the trade kill. Nobody there to help Shoxy. So Shoxy kind of just donates himself there for free. A little bit odd, bit of an odd decision there from G2 in the defense.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could quite buy into that as well. And then NiP, they have the better rifles, and they know it, and they're choosing to play very, very carefully. And this is something that we really like seeing. It may seem a bit boring, it may be more fun if they were charging in and just shooting those automatic rifles all over the place, but it's also a good way to lose rounds that you shouldn't. So they got to keep it cool, and they got to play safe, and that is what they're doing. So that's some of the routine, and also some of the restraint coming in here when you play at a top level.
And I do like to see this from NiP. They are being thorough. There's Body going for the peak. He's going to try and bait them in here, but RPK, he gets spotted, and a great blind shot coming out from Exist. Sprays down RPK. Smiths and Scream, the last two alive here for G2, but not for long, in Scream's case at least. And Smith's going to be the last player here for G2. One thing to note, and this is what I do like here, that's an accurate read coming in from Threat. He knows what the situation is. He knows that NiP have a massive advantage with the nades. And so instead of going for something where NiP, they just run in blind and try and take somebody by surprise, no, they know that G2 don't have any nades to stop them with, so they're going to make use of their advantage to clear out all the angles and make their lives easier. So a perfect round for NiP there, saving everybody.
And just to elaborate on that point, because it's definitely worth taking a note of, and again, if you're new to the game, on that counter-terrorist side, both smokes and molotovs, and even flashbangs to some extent, they're great for breaking up a terrorist attack. So if two people run in and suddenly there's a smoke between those two players and the rest of the terrorist team, maybe they won't be able to back each other up. Maybe they're a bit too slow, the timing will be off, and suddenly you can take a much better fight that will favor your team. So that's why we keep mentioning the fact that they don't have the grenades. This time there's a bit, you see Body has that Molotov, and I can almost guarantee you that if he gets the timing down right on that ramp, it's such a good grenade to put down, and maybe that will be one of the keys to finally winning a second round for G2. They're so far behind Semler. What are we seeing? I mean, it's like a reversal of roles here compared to the rest of the week here at ELEAGUE.
We're seeing some of that NiP magic right now, Anders, and that's what's going on here. Because
someone
this team,
had to say it.
Somebody had to say, I'll take the bullet, right? You know, they struggled. They actually struggled versus G2 in the group phase. They lost both of the maps in the group phase versus G2. But then they come in here, and this is the quality that NiP have. They're championship winners, right? They can come alive in the finals and hit this level that you just weren't expecting. And G2, I don't think that they were expecting this kind of play coming in from NiP. I think that they were expecting to be the the dominant force here in this best of three. That they would be the ones winning in the end. But right now, NiP are teaching them otherwise.
Okay, Body has actually put down the Molotov, and there's 30 seconds left. That's not a lot of time. NiP have also got to be careful. If the bomb goes down here with just 30 seconds, if someone dies with the bomb and it gets dropped somewhere, that could definitely be a bit of a thorn in their side. But they are trying to push in. Shox up on the high ground here. Has the sniper rifle. Look at all the flashbangs coming through. He can't see a thing. He's going to be going down. Body picks up one, but it is a complete slaughter once again. G2 just not even being able to fight anything here at the B-bomb site.
Identical round to the last one. Unfortunately for Scream, he has no idea. It's not going to matter because Exist will win the fight straight up, but Freiburg had managed to sneak his way past. So he would have been the security. GetRight's going to catch out RPK. And 3 players survive for NiP in the round, and you can already start to see G2. I mean, that was the exact same strategy that was used the round before that by NiP. And so you can already see G2 trying to put the pieces together on all the moving parts, all the different nades that are coming in.
Yeah, and you saw on the other side, you saw the grenades coming out from NiP. That smoke grenade actually forced Smith to try and climb up the ladder, and that's where Pyth was aiming. So the grenade sort of pushes him into Pyth's point of view, and that's definitely going to work out well. 8-1, and I expect that we could be seeing a bit of a tactical timeout here. They picked this map for a reason, G2, right? They must have had something in mind, and I feel like right now, we're just seeing the same setup over and over again for the French side. They need to find some variety here. They could push aggressively. They could try and challenge NiP a little bit earlier on.
Well, I mean, we've seen it could come down to the individual players, right? And the biggest play that those guys can go for is something we call an ace. So we're going to go ahead and show you a clip of that now, what it looks like.
An ace is when one player eliminates all 5 people on the other team.
When you manage to kill every single one of the attackers. And I promise you, I do that all the time.
Buddy. All right, Forrest.
No shortage of confidence there on Forrest. He's not wrong either, but that's...
So far, his teammate GetRight's gotten an ace.
Yeah.
And Shoxy's had an ace, right? Between the two of them, I don't think anybody else has got one. Maybe Scream? Off the top of my head, those are the two that I can remember from both of these teams through the group phase getting aces, right? So, Forrest, time to back up those words. If you really want to shatter some French dreams tonight, this is the tactical timeout, guys. It's 2 minutes long. And G2, they've decided enough is enough. 8-1, NiP are so far ahead that we have to put a stop to it here. And we have to actually start either talking it over or just, you know, taking a breath here and trying to slow things down, get refocused into the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one from the G2 side that's really pulling far ahead. They do have like a nice sync of scores here, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of like that. If any poker players out there, a bit of a straight coming out. What I do like is the fact that they at least are doing it. That they are slowing down a little bit here. There are so many avenues to attack on this map if you're on the CT side. You don't have to do what G2 have been doing, which is just waiting for NiP to do their execute, throw in all the smokes and then follow up behind it. Why not try and break it up and see if you can't put them a little bit off balance?
What is this? I love it. All right. So they know that Shoxy likes to push up the lower ramp from B site, right? So NiP, they prepared a little bit of a surprise for him, a bit of a present. They were just sitting there, and they randomly throw the nades in. But if Shoxy was pushing up there, he would have got a face full of shrapnel. That's a nice little adjustment made by NiP.
But look at the surprise that G2 have brought out here. Scream being boosted on the other side with a deagle in hand. He does spot out someone's face, but he can't get the kill, and Smith, he wants to keep fighting, and that might have been a little bit too much. He ends up going down again. They have armor and pistol, so they actually did go for a bit of a buy in this round. Not a full one, it's not like an entire complete force up here, as we call it. They still have money left in the bank, but just trying to give themselves a bit of a chance.
It's what we would call a half buy, right? It's where they're coming in, they're looking to just invest a little bit in this round, but they're still setting it up so that they can get a full buy in the next one, get all those rifles, all those nades. And so G2, they're just giving themselves a little bit of a fighting chance to do some damage. Only problem is, not really working out so far. Scream, he missed his chance, and Smith just ran right into, you know, 2 rifles, so that's never a pleasant time. But 40 seconds left, and the full execute is coming out now from NiP onto the A site. You see all the smokes raining onto the site. And, well, Shoxy, surprise, waiting around the corner. GetRight's going to shut him down along with Forrest, but Scream is there with the deagle, and he gets 2 kills. Not going to be enough in the end. NiP will survive. But that upgrade, spending a little bit more money on their pistols, it actually paid off in the end with those 3 kills.
Well, what also paid off is the fact that for once, and almost the only round here, G2 are playing in front of NiP's smokes. Almost every other time, they've been behind that great wall of smoke, and I'm glad we got to see the bird's eye view of that, because it's such a cool strategy. But G2 keep playing so defensively that the wall of smokes actually serves as a wall. This time, they were in front of it, and none of those smoke grenades that NiP put in were even relevant in that round. They were all taking fights in front of them, so I wish they would keep doing a little bit more of that. This time, we have the 4-1 stack. So that means bodies alone in B. There's 4 people in A, and G2, it is now or never. They have to win the last 5 rounds. They got to make this 9-6, otherwise they don't have a chance.
Yeah, they could just get crushed. And so they are setting it up. Nice reaction there by Freiberg, but he fluffs the shot. How does that happen? Scream will win that duel, but by all rights, Freiberg, you should have had that down right. I mean, you should have had that kill 100%. So a bit of an unfortunate turn of events there for NiP. They could have had a big edge going into this round, but instead, it's going to be G2 showing some of that fight. RPK, Scream, and Smith setting up on that A site, and they go back to that default kind of hold now that G2, they managed to pick up that first kill. They have the advantage in the round now. It's all about just sitting and waiting out the clock and forcing NiP to go into that execute.
Makes me happy that Scream knows how to make that hut jump work on his own. You don't need to be boosted up there. You can just make it on your own. That's kind of cool. We saw how much that paid off the last time around. He got the kill on GetRight, who was trying to put the bomb down. But now, and this is a bit of a change, you know, now that they have the man advantage, I'm okay with them being defensive. That's what you should be. But they took a risk early on the round to get here, and that's what we want to see. A little bit of initiative, just a little bit of confidence as well. Forrest there, missing a shot on RPK, and he's going to hunt him down. Look at how aggressive he's being. This is a sniper rifle, not a shotgun, but he's still going to make it work, and taking out RPK back into a 4-on-4 with now 20 seconds left. NiP, they need that bomb plant quick, and G2, they just need a couple of kills, and this round is going to go their way. Forrest is going to be going down, and they're trying for the bomb plant here. GetRight just holding it in, and it will be a 3-on-3. Scream, he can't see anyone this time. The position work the same. How he's not been spotted. There's GetRight coming through. I think he did a bit of a double take.
But there's still Shoxy and Body alive here. In Body, he showed us some magical plays on Cash, and he delivers there, but Exist is in position to get the refrag. Shoxy will pick off Pyth, however, and he knows where Exist is playing from now, but he's run out of time on that bomb. He's got the kit, so it'll only take him 5 seconds to get the defuse down, but Exist, he's going to be playing the angles, just trying to peek. to keep Shoxy from defusing it. And Exist doesn't even need to show himself. He's playing this perfectly right now. 1, 2, 3, peek, and there it is. Just baits it out. That was a masterclass from Exist. Wins the round without even really having to confront Shoxy, and Shoxy doesn't even save the AWP at the end.
Oh, no. So just to go into detail here about what you just saw, every time Shox taps the bomb to start the defuse process, which takes, again, 5 seconds, it makes a little bit of a sound, and Exist hears that, so he has to go and check. He must know if he's going to stick the defuse all 5 seconds, or if he's just faking it out, as we say. And as you could tell, Shox kept trying to fake it, and Exist, he kept trying to just bait out the shot to make sure that he wasn't actually defusing. So that's a high-level mind game. It's not easy to do, and there's the grenade you were talking about earlier, Semler. Bit of a gift for body, and followed up with a shot from Python. Now Forrest, he's even anticipating this aggression down at Ivy. He's in T-spawn with a sniper rifle. Look at the range he's shooting at here, but
yeah, there's no way.
This is what the AWP was made for.
They are waiting right now very patiently, G2. They're going to run down this clock a little bit longer, and yeah, wait for this sort of situation where Forrest decides to give up that angle in case he was being thorough. But G2 eventually are going to have to make that peak for info, and it should be around the minute mark that they are actually going to step out into the open just to see if anybody's sitting there for NiP. NiP, though, they aren't wasting any time. They're continuing to build on the advantage they have over here on the B site, having picked off body. They know that they're down a man over here, G2. And G2 actually have rotated an extra man over here. So they're just spread so thin right now, G2. NiP, this is their big moment.
I need Scream with some headshots here. They need to get back in this, and maybe putting him into play would be the big deal. There's a little bit of a click coming through. Exist has gone down. Shox, they're dropping down right behind him, but they didn't know he was there, and that's a big double kill. Looking for the triple as well. Out of bullets, out with the pistol instead. The FAMAS empty right now. Grenade can be raining up, and right, oh, there it is! Forrest, how could he have known? It just bounces right in front of him, and that's going to be Smith with the final kill of the round.
That was artful.
That was perfect.
That's a thing of beauty right there, Shoxy. Even a bit of a G2 chant going on, but yeah, we get the replay now.
He didn't so much throw the grenade at him as he just kind of delivered it to him.
He lobbed it. Yeah. Just like, here, take this. It's dangerous. 11 kills, though. I mean, we're not having that huge kind of impact coming in from Shoxy, though. He was really hitting, a super high level throughout the group phase where he was just, getting like 3-for-1 KDA kill ratio. This time around, he's barely even. And that's not enough. We need that kind of Shoxy who's going to step in and just dominate the map.
Well, get right. A little bit aggressive, but he's going to fall back. You know what they say, though, Semler? Once you take the pin from Mr. Grenade, he's no longer your friend. Just not going to be a good time. NiP, they are playing essentially the same round over and over again here. They're being very slow, very careful. They're not really giving G2 many opportunities to catch them off guard. The only thing that I like right now is the fact that Scream has made his way into A main and is being fairly aggressive here. And you can see that puts NiP just a little bit on edge, but they're out behind him, in fact. And look at that. He's going to get a great shot here, but he's actually missing every single bullet. And the round pretty much lost behind it. That should have been 2 kills for Scream.
We're witnessing a total collapse here of G2 at this point. NiP, they're up 10 rounds. G2, though, they're so far behind the map, and they just can't seem to get their heads into it. Not often that you're going to see Scream miss an opportunity like that, where you can basically shoot people in the back free at will. And so, while Shox will deliver a headshot to Freiburg, but it's still a 2-on-4 situation here for G2, and they're just looking to save their guns. Although there will be a return kill, they're on to get right. The thing is, the clock has ticked past
and
so far. Yeah, and exactly. They're already getting boxed in.
Walking up behind them, and again, shows you shows you right now the NiP, they're thinking about even the end of the round. As soon as they put the bomb down, they're thinking, well, let's go and hunt and see if we can't take these rifles away. And they're going to lose every single one. G2 are going into the 14th round with a very, very poor economy. Not enough to make a full buy work. It's just going to be, they might as well force it up. I'd almost be shocked if they didn't. Yeah. There's no way you could play the CT side of Train and be satisfied and try and gun for a 12-3 first half finish here. You're going to have to try and do better than that.
Yeah, no. This is a catastrophe. They need to start getting something going for themselves here at G2. It's way too late in the half. 3 pistols left. They go for the scout on Smiths. He was able to have an impact with that earlier on in the half, so we'll see if he can continue to do so. And then shotgun on Scream. And they're going back to that default hold, although they are cheating an extra man over towards that A site early on here, G2. NiP, however, perfectly content to continue to sit and wait. And that's the game plan for NiP. They're taking that slow, measured pace. They know that G2 are under tremendous pressure, and they're just feeding into that right now just by making them sit there and wait and sweat.
This might go back a little bit to what the panelists were talking about, that this might be a bit of a sleeper pick for NiP, because G2 don't have maybe a lot of research watching NiP play this map, and if they had, I think they would have been able to recognize some of these setups on the terrorist side and say, well, where are they likely to be at X amount of minutes in the round, and that's important. It seems like right now G2 are just playing almost blind. They're not doing anything big to counter the way that NiP are playing right now, and that's something they just can't afford at the moment. Body.
Yeah.
What could he do at this point in time, Sandler?
Yeah, exactly. Well, he can hope that he's just not going to die instantly when 5 players with AKs come charging at him, and he's all alone on this site with no help from his teammates. He has a single flash grenade to try and stumble NiP here when the push comes through, and it's already out. And so now life gets pretty difficult here for Body. He gets spotted immediately. He's down to half HP. He's just spraying wildly. Panic spray. Still picks up 1 kill. But it's still a 4-on-4 scenario here, and NiP, they have everything working out for him. Nice jump shot from Smith, and he could get the follow-up as well, but Forrest has spotted him, drops him down to 16 HP, and Smith misses the shot. But RPK and Shoxy in the meantime doing work.
Oh, that grenade, it's just a little bit to the right of Forrest. Otherwise, that would have been it. RPK coming in with a big kill there, and every single member of NiP killed in this round. That's ridiculous. They had next to no equipment, and it started off really badly with Body just getting completely panicked.
Blitzed. I mean, Body still put up a fight, right? 1-for-1 trade. But how is it that G2, I suppose it's because Shoxy and Scream, basically, there must have been an edge of surprise there for NiP, because Shoxy and Scream, going into that execute from NiP, they were waiting all the way up in A main, so they probably were able to get a very quick flank up into the hallways behind NiP. And so maybe that's what actually happens when NiP, they get flanked, they get backstabbed, they just completely panic themselves, and G2 are able to crunch onto the site. So we'll see how things pan out. But at least G2 give themselves a fighting chance here. If they could end the half at 11-4, there's just a sliver of a chance that they could run it back here on their T side. But let's see, they actually have rifles now. So can they do it?
Even saying that there's a light at the end of the tunnel is probably a little bit too much right now. But certainly they bought themselves another round. Pyth going to pick up 1 kill there early on. Good shot coming in, and Body picking up a double kill. Going to be Pyth and Exist going down early on. And this fight seems to be reoccurring here. You can shoot through that wall. Shox down to 28. Does more damage than you would think, and that's another feature of Counter-Strike. We haven't seen too much, but especially with that big sniper rifle, it'll penetrate walls. There is a big damage fall off, but look at GetRight sneaking in, and Body going to be taken out. He immediately puts up that Molotov to try and prevent any kind of a rotation into the bomb site. But Forrest has to get back and pick up the bomb, so GetRight has to hold this bomb site for quite a while.
And he's doing that to delay information as well. Now NiP, they have the option to go out onto A if they want. Because, right, GetRight, he has completely denied G2 information. G2 think that the bomb, it's on this B site. GetRight, he's going to continue selling that fake story as well, because he annihilates RPK. And now Shox and Scream, what can they possibly know? It looks like NiP want to build on what GetRight has generated here. And they are going to bring that bomb over to B eventually, now that there is, a man advantage for NiP. But they had the option. They could have gone wherever they wanted.
Yeah, but you could tell Scream and Shox are still holding A right now. And that's just when they found out that something's gone horribly wrong. They're in a 2 versus 3, and this is the 15th round. They have to go for it. There's no saving any longer. That's a triple kill for GetRight. He gets shot in the back by Scream. Hitting a headshot. Still another 2 kills needed here. And that's a bit of a tag with the follow-up shot. Forrest to clear out the round, and that will be the first half done. 12-3 favoring NiP. An absolutely shocking start to the second map.
Just a brutal finish, 12-3. It's not every day that you see this kind of scoreline, but it's also not every day that you see G2 completely collapse like this. Just not able to get anything going for themselves here in the first half of this second map. NiP, it's almost as if they're fated to just completely crush G2 here in the finals of the groups. But we will find out how all this pans out in the second half after this short break.
with the prize and the victory.
They'll have gone 2-0, you know, just not dropping a single map to get 2-0'd in the finals. That is a tough situation. And while Python's going to start things off strong, he has no mercy. He doesn't care about their fees. He's here to shut them down. Exist is there to pick up a kill as well. And it's a man advantage, and well, just a complete and utter devastating play from NiP. Everybody getting a piece of the action. 13-3.
What a shocking start, and I mean, that kind of a round, and even if you've just been watching tonight, you will have learned by now that these pistol rounds have such a huge impact on how each half starts. Now, G2 won't have enough money to buy rifles. They did not even get the bomb plant, so instead, they're going to go for Kevlar vest and some upgraded pistols here. The Tech 9s, the Deagles, they're really good pistols, but they're not going to be as good as the three FAMASs, one M4 and one MP9 right now on the NiP side. Forest playing close. It's actually Exist covering him from behind to take down Smiths. NiP need 3 rounds, and they are our winners tonight.
Yeah, tough situation there for G2. The guys waiting outside of Alley, the 3 of them there, that smoke being up, they don't know if somebody else is there to back up Exist, and so they aren't able to just press through and get the punish on him. RPK has been boosted up though, and they're trying to draw Exist out into the open so that he can actually find that kill, and he decides enough is enough. I'm going to take the fight to him. Charges in, and he picks up 2 kills. RPK with the entry frags, but Body, that's not how you treat your teammate. You don't shoot your teammate, you gotta shoot NiP.
Oh, a bit of a team kill, and Get Right gonna close out the round here. What a way to get started. I mean, you thought maybe it was bad on Cash, and then it turns out to be even worse on Train. 14-3 right now. We're playing first to 16. NiP, they're dangerously close, and G2, they're just gonna buy again.
That's painful. After all that good work from RPK, that's what he gets? Man.
The universe is not a fair place, Sumner.
He just found that out tonight. All right, 14-3. NiP 2 rounds away, and a great nade going on to Shoxy to start things off. Pyth playing ultra aggressive as well, well up close to the smokes. And while Forrest is going to spot out Shoxy, MP9 spray, it gets the job done. Exist with 2 kills over by Alley. And well, it's all on Forrest now. Runs out of bullets, but Scream is not long for this world. He gets taken out by Pyth.
What we're seeing here is one of the reasons why Swedish Counter-Strike is legendary throughout the world and always has been, going back even 10 years into a different version of Counter-Strike. Although even then, the Swedes were great at playing this game. Right now, it's 15-3, and we are at match and map point here. Right now, G2 would need to win 12 rounds consecutively to go into overtime, then win that overtime, and then go to a third map. Just think about how much that is asking of one team. And Smith, that looked like it was going to be a clean headshot with a scout, and there it is. Pyth's going to be going down, and strong start for Smith here. Exist dropping next. Body just tired of being rolled over by NiP.
It's time to leave it to the adults here. Forrest and Get Right, they're still alive, and Forrest will lose the duel versus Shoxy. Freiburg there to trade. Still a 2-on-3 scenario, and Freiburg brings it back. 2-on-2, and he's going for more. Scream has been spotted, and Smiths as well. And it's all on Get Right and Freiburg now to lock them out of this site. Smiths and Scream, lots to do. And it's all on Smiths, and he's not here for long. He gets picked off by Get Right. And what a performance.
Gonna make it out as our winning finalist here at the second week of ELEAGUE, taking out G2 16-13 on the second map. They utterly destroy the French team. I mean, who could have seen this coming?
Nobody predicted it to be this one-sided, for a blowout to happen in a best-of-3 after G2's performance throughout the group phase this week and their recent performance over the past couple of months. They got completely and utterly destroyed here by NiP. And well, especially going into this, Shoxy's had such a good record versus NiP historically. For him to not even be present tonight is real tough.
It absolutely is. Scream was playing so well as well earlier in this week, but you know, today was the deciding day, and they just were not ready for it. The crowd is absolutely loving it. They brought flags and t-shirts and everything, and that is one hell of a way to close out 2 maps like that. Last week we ended up having all 3 maps, and it was a little bit more intense. This week it's straight to the finish line here for the Swedes. No time wasted at all. And it is like old NiP basically, just like these guys. They used to dominate. They went 87 maps in O on land. This is ancient history, obviously. Happened several years ago. And ever since then, they've been battling back to the point where, once again, they can be the top team. They can win in these sorts of situations. And it is refreshing to see, especially when you have legends like Forrest and Get Right on the roster. Yeah, hard to believe that it ends like this, but it will. We are going to have to see if we can get a little bit of a tactical breakdown when we come back after the break.